1982, I was at university and an incident happened that I will always remember. They came out news reports of people dying suddenly after ingesting Tylenol. They would feel sick. Someone has a headache. You go to the store, over the counter, you buy some Tylenol because you want to feel better. They went home, took it, boom, they died. And they analyzed it. It turned out this Tylenol was laced with cyanide. Someone had tampered with the Tylenol. I mean, how horrific. Killed 7 people. And the FBI investigated. It was a hysteria. Everyone was throwing out their medication. And people were worried because this is just a sense of having a civilized society. You can go to the store and get medicine, and you're assuming it's not going to be poison, right? Who's sick enough to poison medicine? It's just not done. Yeah, okay, there's other crimes that kill a lot of people, like a mass shooting. I mean, it's horrific. But to poison medicine is just beyond the pale, but it happened. And really, it forever changed how we buy products in general. If you guys are older, like I am, I can remember back in the days in the 70s, for example, you went to the store and you got the medicine. The bottle was easy to open. There was no safety seal or anything like that. You just open it up easily and there was the medicine. But after this incident, they had to change all the packaging and make the medicine a lot more difficult to open. Part of it was childproof, so children won't accidentally get in the medicine. But they also made it with the safety seal, so people won't poison your medicine. And this expanded to drinks and food products and everything. It was the assumption that people otherwise would try to randomly kill you. It's not a good way to live. It added a lot of cost to the society. And it was just part of the thing that helped degrade us. And I thought of that when I heard the news of the Israeli sabotage on pagers. On one level, it was kind of, wow, this is kind of an interesting trick. What happened? I guess Mossad, they figured out a lot of pagers Hezbollah primarily was using. They intercepted them and then they packaged them with explosives and they were able to trigger them. And I guess they injured 2,000 people in Lebanon, mostly Hezbollah fighters. And I don't like these guys, so good riddance. But it also reportedly killed a couple of kids because you have a consumer product. You may leave it on the desk or on the table and a kid may pick it up, that type of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised 2 kids died, and I don't know how many were injured by this. And I have no love for Islamic terrorists and the whole Palestine fight versus Israel. I'm really neutral. I'm America first. I just think we should stay out of it. It's savage on both sides. October 7th was horrible. But then I read about what the Israeli response was, just leveling cities, butchering people, literally raping people, POWs. It's just gory stuff on both sides. But while this has some ingenuity behind it, sabotaging pagers, what they're doing is sort of like the Tylenol incident. They are tampering with a consumer electronic product, which we always assumed was pretty safe. Now we may have reached the point that we can't assume our electronics are safe. And while this may have the initial PR victory for Israel, and I don't even know if it's a PR victory, because it's just going to a place that you really don't want to go. And yet it's sort of high tech, but it's not that much different than poisoning medicine, or for that matter, years ago, poisoning a well. It doesn't require much sophistication to do that, but it was considered extremely unethical, even though it could kill your enemies. You just don't want to live in an environment like that. So we had some basic rules that we tried to apply to warfare. And Israel kind of broke one of those barriers. Now they said, hey, consumer products are fair game for us to booby trap and kill people with. And again, I don't really care if Hezbollah terrorists are being killed, but I don't like this new direction of placing bombs or explosive devices in consumer products. And it could backfire in Israel, because are you going to trust anything coming out of Israel now? It could be a fine product, but do they have a secret bomb in it? How about the pharmaceuticals? That's big in Israel. Can we be assured they're not secretly poisoning the medicine because they want to get after their enemies? See, there's certain lines that you shouldn't cross. And it's not because you're trying to be super moral, but you want to live in a society that you don't go into that area. You don't poison the wells, even though you hate your enemy and you wish them dead. You don't do that, because that's going to hurt all of society. And this is kind of a high-tech poisoning the well type of strategy that I don't think is very wise, even though it may get some of the bad guys. And believe me, I have no sympathy for terrorists. But when you, again, have it in consumer products, kids can pick it up. Normal people can have them. It's just going to a place that just seems very vicious and savage. And I think it's I think it's a mistake for Israel to go down this route. Because now, the Hezbollah, what are they going to do? They're going to retaliate and poison food in Israel? Or I don't think this is a good way for us to go as humanity, but I guess I'm not surprised. Both sides have been extremely vicious. This is why I don't want any part of that region. We need to focus on America, Europe, keep our countries as civilized as possible, and just try to keep this at arm's length. And again, I'm not an apologist for Hezbollah. Those people, they can act in very savage manner too. I just don't want any part of this. Talk to you guys later.